This is a video lesson for Monday, January 25th. The bell work for today. What would happen if one of the factors of production was missing? Well, if one of the factors of production is missing, nothing can be produced. So if you are, the factors of production are land, labor, and capital. If you're missing land, then you have no raw materials to produce things. If you're missing capital, then you have no tools to turn the land into producible things. And if you're missing labor, then you have no people to operate the machines, tools, and equipment in order to turn those natural land resources into products, right? So you need all three, and if you're missing any of them, nothing can be produced. So here is a quick video review of Friday's factors of production lesson.
Factors of production are used to produce things in our society. The factors of production are land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. These are the things that get used to produce stuff. Now, it seems very simple, and that's what they kind of are. Just think about it. It's logic. You have to have land to be able to produce whatever you want to make. You have to have labor to have people that are willing to spend their time and energy to produce your product. You have to have capital. Capital meaning money and the tools to be able to build whatever you are deciding to produce. And the entrepreneurship, that's the idea. You have to have an idea for your company, the idea to create the product, the idea of the product. When you have these four things, you have the factors of production. Now, the factors of production get used in a bunch of different ways. It depends on what country you live in. It depends on the business. Now, are the services that are going to be provided? All these things have to go into it. But the factors of production hopefully aren't that complicated. Now we're going to do some practice problems and see if you can identify which of the factors of production are being used. All right, so now during these practice problems, if you have any more time, just pause the video. But our first one is on the screen right now, this picture. Which of the four factors of production do you think are being used here? You have land, capital, labor, or entrepreneurship. Take your time. All right, if you need more time, pause it. But if you think you got it, and if you said land, you are correct. Yes, all resources would be part of land. So that would include water and coal and iron and all these different things that we take from the world. All right, next practice problem. Let's see if you can get this one. All right, so we have a bunch of pictures up again. You can figure it out. Need more time, pause the video. If you guess entrepreneurship, you are correct. This is showing the ideas that come to create a product, the idea, the spark, the innovation. All right, let's go to another one. All right, there's a picture up on the board right now. Picture of you say so myself. And if you need more time, make sure you pause the video. And if you said labor, you are correct. It is labor. That's right, labor. These are the people who are producing it. They're not the people that came up with the original idea, but they're the people working to create this product.
So on Friday, when I talked about factors of production, I focused on land, capital, and labor. Well, there's actually a fourth, and that is entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs are risk-taking individuals who introduce new products or services in search of profits. And so there has to be somebody who takes those three other factors of production, the land, labor, and capital, and organizes them and takes a risk in order to create a product. So without the developer, in our example from Friday, we were building a house and the trees are the land and the lumber is the capital and the builders are the labor, and how every step in between includes land, labor, and capital to turn those trees into lumber, the trucks and to transport it in the lumber mill, all of those things. Well, every step along the way, you also need entrepreneurs. You need an entrepreneur to own the tree farm. You need an entrepreneur to own the lumber mill. You need an entrepreneur to be the developer. And so these entrepreneurs see a gap in the marketplace and they say, here's a way I can make some money. And they do that by purchasing different things and starting their own business. So they're business owners. The entrepreneurs are considered the fourth factor of production. So a couple examples I've included for you are Henry Ford and Steve Jobs. Maybe come up with a couple of other entrepreneurs who you might know about.
What makes someone an entrepreneur? Am I an entrepreneur? Are you an entrepreneur? Do I know any entrepreneurs? Is it genetic? Can I catch it? Is it fatal? Wait, what? The word entrepreneur entrepreneur seems to be thrown around everywhere for everyone doing anything. It's used to describe celebrities and business tycoons like Beyonce, Elon Musk, Marie Kondo, and Jessica Alba. But your brother who keeps bringing up his idea for coffee-flavored toothpaste might make the list too. Entrepreneurs pop up in all types of industries and can have widely different backgrounds. Some build personal brands, while others work tirelessly on a physical product that they believe in. Really, anyone can be an entrepreneur, given an idea and the right tools to develop it into a functional business. Together, we'll develop our business acumen and learn the importance of grit, determination, and a fair bit of luck. I'm Anna Akona, and this is Crash Course Business Entrepreneurship. Some people define an entrepreneur with buzzwords like trailblazing, innovative, problem solving, passionate, and on and on. These might all be traits that entrepreneurs can strive for. But at its core, an entrepreneur is someone who sees a need and takes on the financial risk to start a business to fill that. That may sound kind of vague, but that's kind of the point. There is no cookie cutter entrepreneur, unless you like start business to sell cookie cutters, in which case, yes, there is no cookie cutter entrepreneur. Your idea might take the form of a physical product in a physical store called a brick and mortar business. In Montana, Charlie and Barbie Beaton of Big Dipper Ice Cream took their passion for locally made ice cream from one shop in downtown Missoula to appearing on Good Morning America. Or instead of a tangible product, your venture might be a national empowerment network. Girl Boss New Zealand was founded by 20-year-old Alexia Hilbertidou after she was the only woman in her upper-level physics class. Her goal is encouraging high school-age women to pursue STEM and leadership careers. Or you might set your sights on an international online media empire, like Ariana Huffington, the founder and namesake of HuffPost. She founded her site with partners as a friendly alternative to news aggregators, and she eventually sold it to AOL in 2015 for $315 million US. Get it, Ari? It's clear that entrepreneurs come in all flavors. I mean, according to the Global Entrepreneurship Monitor, over 100 million businesses are launched each year. That is 11,000 per hour or 3 new businesses per second. There we go. So instead of just defining who is an entrepreneur, since it is such a wide scope, we can instead narrow down our definition by understanding who is not one. Let's go to the thought bubble. Say Congress works for Wow, a feline health and fitness company. He notices a need, a shocking lack of cat transportation, and comes up with the idea for the cat cycle, which he pitches to his boss. Wow immediately sends the cat cycle into production because it's a genius idea, and it flies off the shelves. Even though Congress is using an entrepreneurial mindset, by our definition, he isn't an entrepreneur yet. The company, Wow, actually took the financial risk to develop, produce, and sell the cat cycle. Meanwhile, Beetle sees the same need for cat transportation and sketches out the cat board in his personal idea notebook after work. He's gained valuable experience working for Wow and develops the cat board in the evenings and on weekends before striking out on his own. Using his personal savings, Beetle commissions a prototype that he shops around to local stores. A few are interested and he sets up contracts with them. As his sales begin to grow, Beetle creates new designs, but he doesn't pay attention to what his customers like or dislike about the cat board. Because he failed to make valuable improvements to the cat board for his customers, sales plummet. It's a tough decision, but Beetle cuts his losses and sells his cat board designs to Wow, which revamps his idea as the dog board. Beetle is an entrepreneur because he saw a need and took the financial risk to fill it. It didn't go so well because he didn't incorporate customer feedback, but now he knows where he went wrong and won't make the same mistake in his next entrepreneurial endeavor. Thanks, that bubble. A study in the Social Science Research Network journal found that entrepreneurs start companies because they mostly believe that 1. They are inherently more valuable than how they appear on paper. 2. They are wasted working for someone else. 3. Their resumes don't show the real them. 4. Large companies can't appreciate their full potential. And finally, they are capable of turning their internal value into real life money. Basically, entrepreneurs believe in themselves. And sure, building self-confidence over time isn't always easy, but it can be a powerful motivator. And then there's potential wealth. Yes, there is financial risk in starting a business, but there is money in running a successful one. Entrepreneurial lore is full of rags to riches tales, where people pitch the next Snapchat and are launched into the business stratosphere. Like Oprah Winfrey has said, she spent her early childhood wearing overalls made of potato sacks, but she became North America's first Black multi-billionaire and queen of the daytime talk show. Sure, this is the stuff of inspirational posters, and not everyone can make it this big. But entrepreneurship does create a culture of opportunity that might work for some non-traditional workers. Of course, every entrepreneur with a massive success has also had hundreds of failures. Yeah, I know, the dreaded F word. Lean startup methodology is basically the globally recognized guidebook for entrepreneurs created by Steve Blank and Eric Ries. And it says that stumbling is perfectly fine if we learn as we go. But to identify and learn from failures, every entrepreneur has to ask themselves, what does success look like to me? Is it earning $30,000 a year in your food truck and skiing every weekend? Is it selling your idea for $1 million? Is it becoming the CEO of a mid-sized media production company and writing novels on the side? Thanks for hiring us, Hank. Also, where is the sequel and when can I star in the movie adaptation? Or is it owning 6 cats and producing your own films? Whatever success is, it's entirely up to you. Of course, no one wants to fail, but together we'll learn how to redefine failure and pick up the pieces if it's truly unavoidable. It's not that successful entrepreneurs never faced failure, it's that they didn't quit. So the bottom line is, anyone can be an entrepreneur with a little grit, determination, and luck.
So in your notes, you're going to answer the questions. Number one, why are entrepreneurs important? And we're specifically talking about in the production process. Number two, make a pros and cons list of being an entrepreneur. Number three, would you like to be an entrepreneur? Why or why not? Number four, what do you think would be the hardest thing about being an entrepreneur? And number five, what do you think would be the best thing about being an entrepreneur? So answer those 5 questions, and that's it for today.